I'm doing the Facebook Live tonight because we did our date night in the afternoon today and it was really fun. And so I decided to take some time and share something that was on my heart tonight. And so what we're going to be talking about, guys, is the number one key to ending financial failure. The number one key to ending financial failure and a lack of success. And I just want to ask you, if you're watching this right now, I want you to ask yourself, like, do you ever feel like you're totally alone in your finances, or do you ever feel like you've tried time and time again to get things together, right? You've tried maybe different programs, you've read different books, you've talked to friends, you've maybe even met with other people about it. You're trying to do what you can, but you find yourself continuing to be in struggle, like you're ending back in the same spot. You're just not where you want to be with your finances. Obviously, the same thing would apply to your relationship as well with your spouse and things like that. But we're going to talk specifically about your finances tonight. And if you feel like you're just not doing enough, or you feel like maybe at this point, again, just to be honest, like that you really feel like you're failing. I mean, honestly, guys, that's the number one thing that we really hear from men and women when it really comes down to it, is just when it comes to their finances, just not feel like they're doing good enough, like they're doing enough, or like they're ultimately failing them, they're failing their spouse, or they're failing their kids, or they're failing other people that are in need that depend upon them. Even people that we talk to that are in Africa, just family back home. It's like they need their help, they need their support. If they can't get it together, it's like they're letting them down. And so I just want to ask you guys, like, are you finding yourself in that place at the same time because it's been so long trying to fix this? Do you feel like it pretty much it feels like it's complicated as rocket science or brain surgery? So if that's the case, you're not the only one. Because honestly, guys, most people try time and time again to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, and it just doesn't work. They find themselves constantly getting back in struggle town. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And so if that's how you're feeling, welcome. And we're going to be unpacking that for you guys. So guys, what I want to talk about is really what happens when you figure out how to end financial failure and a lack of success. And when you figure out how to end that, you find yourself start succeeding. You find yourself starting to be more happy, starting to be more fulfilled. Obviously, you find yourself just having a better quality of life. You find yourself serving more in your community, serving more in your home. Guys, when the stress isn't there, it changes everything. But without it, guys, what happens is you continue to, again, you find yourself in that depression, that anxiety, that frustration, that feeling of, gosh, like, is it ever going to change? And so that's why we're going to be talking about this and so important. And so in order to dive into this and just to kind of get started, I want to share a little bit about a story that I had just a couple days ago. And I was on a walk the other day, and I was walking down this neighborhood, and it was a beautiful day. And I'm seeing this guy in the distance with a weed whacker, and I see him, but he's like not on the edge of the lawn. Like he's kind of like he's in the middle of his lawn, and he's like using his weed whacker and like kind of doing the back and forth thing, the back and forth thing. And I'm just like, okay. And so I was kind of curious that as I get closer and closer, I realized that his grass wasn't cut very well. Like maybe he tried to cut the grass, or somebody tried to cut the grass, whatever. But there were these patches all over the yard. I mean, guys, there were hundreds of these patches that were sticking up, kind of like a cowlick in the back of your hair. But it was for his grass. And so he just kept going back and forth. And really what he was doing is he had his weed whacker out there, and he was doing it that way. And it was like after a minute or two of just watching him do this, and I passed by, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, that is actually what he's doing. I thought there's no way he's doing something like that. That's so inefficient. That's going to take him like an hour or two just to be out here doing this. It's like, that's crazy. Like just run it, like just get some help to do it. But it's like he literally was just doing that back and forth. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like it was driving me nuts because I'm so about productivity and efficiency. It was driving me crazy. And so I saw that and I was like, this is crazy. This is nuts. I'm like, dude, just get like a lawn professional, get someone to come out there and just cut the yard. And I was just dying laughing like internally because I'm like, this is crazy, like how inefficient this is. But I realized, guys, here's the truth. Okay. Here's the truth is that I guarantee you for that guy, like in the back of his mind, he's probably out there like, I'm saving some money. I'm saving money. Like I'm doing this on my own. I'm using my own weed whacker. I'm using my own gas. I'm using my own time. I'm saving some money. And so what I want to talk about today is, guys, really this myth that in order to by doing it yourself and just trying to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just trying to, spend countless hours, hundreds of hours or things researching and doing all these things and trying to find your way out of financial struggle on your own, like it's actually saving you money. And I'm going to talk about that kind of lightheartedly because it's the same situation as that one guy, right? It's like he's out there. It's like he probably thinks he's saving money, but it's like, is he really saving money? Or is he just being really inefficient and making it a whole heck of a lot harder than it needs to be? Because every day I'm seeing people drive down the road with lawnmowers, things like this. Probably a neighborhood kid who could do it in 10, less than 10 minutes with his little lawnmower for $5, but he's out there saving money. And I'm like, this guy's got like a beautiful home. We've even had clients that are like this. They got like $500,000 homes, and it's like you're still mowing your lawn. It's like, okay, it's like nothing morally wrong with it, but it's like, okay, are you really saving money, or is it just taking up time and making it harder than it needs to be? And obviously, that was what was happening with that guy. And so, what I'm going to talk about, guys, is really the number one key that I believe to ending financial failure. And honestly, it comes from God's word, and really, it's in Proverbs. It talks, if you read Proverbs, one of the biggest themes that you're going to see is this idea of wise counsel, or getting people that are going to give you insight. Basically, people that are going to mentor you, people that are going to show you the way. And there's a specific verse that came to mind as I was thinking about this, and it just says straight up, it says, without wise counsel, plans fail. They fail. But with many advisors, they succeed. And so if you're like scratching your head, and it's been like this for like, a year, 3 years, like maybe 5 years, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe more like 30. Like if you've spent most of your life in financial struggle and you feel like you're failing, if you feel like you're not successful, without counsel, plans fail. Man, I feel like I'm failing. It's definitely not getting that much better. We're definitely not really succeeding. I wonder what could be the problem. Isn't it funny, guys, how we just do that? But honestly, that's what scripture says, and it's like, if you're at a place where you feel like you're failing, like you're just struggling, it's harder than it needs to be. It's because you are making it harder than it needs to be. It's because, honestly, guys, the Bible says that you're making it harder than it needs to be, that ultimately in your life, if you are at a place where, again, it's just, you don't feel like you're succeeding, you're making it harder than it needs to be. And guys, the truth is, if you really think about it, there's like what things of any a significance or major accomplishments have you ever seen in somebody's life? Like huge accomplishments, like winning a gold medal or like winning an NBA championship. I haven't watched the Michael Jordan documentary. A lot of people are saying like, oh my gosh, or the series, like you got to watch it. I'll probably watch it. Probably watch it after I'm done with this live with my wife. Probably start watching that. But guys, honestly, even with him, it's like, would Michael Jordan have ever gotten to that place in his life without an expert mentor, without somebody that would help him to learn how to stop failing as he's shooting the free throws or the 3-pointers, or to stop failing the dunk, learn how to be successful and things like that? Obviously, it required people outside of him that were experts in order to be able to do that. And so, guys, like if you want to be successful, if you want to like significantly shorten the learning curve by decades for a lot of people, guys, there are people out there that spend tens of thousands of hours perfecting their craft. Honestly, it's insane, right? And it's like a doctor or like a dentist, right? None of you guys are out there like when you're feeling your heart hurting, you're like, let me just, of course, everyone Googles for about 5 minutes until you get freaked out and you go to the doctor anyway, right? But like, if you feel like there's a problem, you don't feel this pressure or this guilt to have to like Google and YouTube your way, or reading a book about heart pain. Like you just go to the doctor. They've spent tens of thousands of hours perfecting their craft and studying. You're like, that would be so crazy and inefficient. Same thing with like the dentist. If your tooth is hurting, you're not like, trying to look up and Google and get the wrench out and like pull your own tooth. It's like, you realize, well, obviously for my physical health, I would need to talk to an expert. None of us feel guilty, but I'm talking about this because I think especially for the men, sorry guys, the men like tend to feel like a sense of inadequacy, or, it's like, it's a little bit harder for guys in general. It's true for women too, but like to ask for help. It's like, you feel like more of a loser, you feel like a failure for doing it. But guys, honestly, Proverbs is saying, it's like, if like real wise people, real people that are successful, they're the ones who ask for help. So if you're the type of person where maybe you're like at Home Depot or something like that, and it's like in your, like you've been searching the aisles for like an hour, and you still can't find the help, like, yeah, we're talking to you right now. It's like when there's people standing there getting paid to just kind of stand around and like help you if you need help. It's that type of thing where it's so inefficient and it's so silly, just like the guy with the weed whacker, to go out there and try to save some money, or figure it out, it's like, or be more of a man or more of a whoever it would be, like, it's like you're more of a hero by doing it. Guys, like obviously that guy wasn't really being that intelligent when it came to the weed whacker. And obviously, guys, it would not be intelligent to try to just go out there and self-diagnose and try to fix our own medical issues. And so why do we try to do that with our health? Why do we try to do that with our financial health? Same thing, even like our spiritual health. It's like, there's a lot of people that think, again, it's more spiritual to just like, I just need me and God. But again, guys, when you read scripture, it's like people are growing spiritually through other mentors, through other people. Like Timothy was growing, and Titus were growing because of Paul. Like the churches were growing because of Paul. It's like Peter, James, like everyone was learning from Jesus. It's like, whatever. It's like there was always some sort of teacher or mentor to help people grow spiritually. So again, but when it comes to the finances, a lot of us feel like, okay, like as long as, that you have to Google or YouTube or, and even like just like read a book to success. And guys, all those things are helpful, but it's nothing like actually working with an expert. Just like reading a book on heart pain or on tooth pain is, it's going to be interesting and you might get some insights, but it's not enough to actually fix the root issues that have been keeping you stuck for decades. And guys, there are people like myself that have spent tens of thousands of hours perfecting their craft, learning what they need to do. I mean, figuring out through trial and error and like seeing so many people figure out like what doesn't work, what does work, going through all the programs, going through the books, going through all the trainings, whatever. And it's like, guys, like it doesn't have to be this hard. And we were even talking about this on our last call with our clients. There was two couples specifically. One of them literally, like the husband was like, literally he'd already contacted an attorney to get a divorce. And we're talking on the phone and we get to the end of the call and like, they basically like, yeah, like we want to do this. We want to get help. Okay. So we decided to work together. Guys, like I kid you not, they're halfway through the program. And it was even like this a couple weeks in. But it's like everything had instantly changed. And we were meeting last night. Last night, he was like, this is the best decision I could have ever made. He's like, it's completely transformed our relationship. And they're sitting there next to each other, smiling like everything is normal and peachy and like fine. And like, I mean, guys, it was really bad. And they were like, things are amazing now. And it's like, he's like, my entire relationship with her has changed. It's like, he's making her breakfast. She's a nurse. He's like making her breakfast and doing all this stuff to treat her. And it was like, oh my gosh, they literally were living in separate houses. And literally within a matter of weeks, they're back together. Their finances are amazing. They're paying off tons of debt. They're super connected. They've healed from all this pain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if people only knew that it doesn't have to be this hard. Just like that one guy, it's like if the guy never knew there was such a thing as a lawnmower, he's just out there like weed whacking, all of a sudden you give him a lawnmower and he's like, oh, it's like, or somebody who's never had fire before, or seen a grill. And it's like, it's like they're all I've done is like work with matches and you show them a grill and just turn the thing with the gas. It's like, oh my gosh, what is this invention? It's kind of like that. It's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea it could be this simple. And it is when you work with people that are experts who spent tens of thousands of hours figuring out what works, what does work, and what gets you the ways to shortcut that. Because most people are trying to read books and even things like that. And honestly, guys, even for like a lot of things like marriage counseling and stuff like that, there's no outcome. It's like you just go there and you just keep pouring out the same old stories and talking about the same old stuff. And it's like, and there's no like, hey, within this specific amount of time, we can get you X, Y, and Z. It's like, it's just like, hey, just keep coming until you don't feel like keep coming anymore and things like that. And so guys, there are better ways out there. There are better ways to get your tooth fixed than just watching a video. There are better ways to get your chest pain fixed than just reading an article. Guys, there are better ways to get your finances fixed and to stop failing than just trying to YouTube and do things like that and trying to do that. What's up, Mike? It's good to hear from you, man. So guys, ultimately that's what we're talking about. It's like, it's inefficient, it's crazy. And it's like, and it's not saving money because let's just be honest. Like if you tried to yank out your own tooth, yeah, you saved the $500 dental bill. Good for you. You did it. But now you've got like some sort of like abscess or, you're bleeding out. It's like, and now you got some infection, you're going to the doctor. It's like, and now it's like, you could have an infection that goes down to your heart and literally gives you a heart attack. It's like, so did you really save money? When you're, whatever, a few hours later, a few weeks later, you're in the emergency room when you're having to do all that stuff. It's like, did you really save any money? Right? Same thing with your doctor. It's like you're trying to self-diagnose all these different things. All of a sudden, one day you find out you have this major chronic condition. It's like, were you really saving money now when you're having to go a year on some of these sorts of things? And so even with your finances, guys, like you're not saving money by just trying to like do it yourself and things like that. It's like, it's the money you're not making. It's one of your biggest expenses because ultimately all of you guys are only playing at about 5% of your potential when it comes to your income. And so you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single year. We see that time and time again. Not one person I've ever met that was wasn't. When it comes to managing your money, you just don't know what you don't know. I've never seen a single person come through, no matter how many classes that they've done or led, that knows how to truly manage their money, their cash flow, in a way that helps them put more money towards savings and debt. Like, I'm talking hundreds and thousands of dollars a month. Time and time again, doesn't matter how much money you're making, we always see it, every single one. So like, the first thing people realize when they come in is like, oh my gosh, I was bleeding out, left and right through like poor management and poor planning. And not really knowing how to actually get more in the right way, and then what to do with it when I get it in. It's like, oh my gosh, thousands of dollars a month for most people, definitely between losing, the money that you could be making and the money that's already coming in that's not being put to use the correct way. And then it's like, over the course of a year, tens of thousands of dollars. But then guys, here's the truth. Like, some people, all that they see is a price tag. They don't ever want to pay for the help. They don't want to fix it. And guys, like, everybody wants the dream, but no one wants to pay I shouldn't say nobody, but it's very common. What we see is that a lot of people don't want to pay the price to fix it. That's just the truth. And so the same thing, guys, anything significant in life, you have to pay a price. Michael Jordan had to pay a price. He had to go out there probably for hours every day and shoot the same ball from the same position time and time and time and time again. Guys, there is a price to pay for success, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's energy. If you do not invest in yourself and you do not, the transformation is not going to happen. And even then, the truth is, guys, when you're not paying a price for it, even when it comes to financially, you don't get the outcomes, right? It's like, guys, how many people have books sitting on their shelf of like how to lose weight, how to eat healthy, dieting books, and you're still not in shape. You're still not, gaining weight. Oh, but I saved money because I didn't pay for the health expert. Yeah, but it's like, but now you've added you've taken 5 years off your life, because now it's like you're even worse shape, and it's like, and now you're self-loathing, and like you're constantly feeling bad about how you look, and it's taking up time and energy, and it's like hurting your intimacy, and it's affecting your confidence in the boardroom and how to be successful in business, because you feel fat and you feel out of shape. You feel like, if you're, whatever it would be, guys, it is costing you so much. Is costing you so much, even if it's just the depression and things like that. Yeah, it's like self-help. It's like, you guys, like, just shelf help is really what it is. It's shelf help. And guys, most people are just trying to shelf help their way through life. Guys, it does not work. I mean, go on your bookshelf right now. I can guarantee you there's probably at least this many books that are there that you bought to try to fix a major problem in your life, and it's still there. Guys, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the fact that it just doesn't usually work. Like, unless you guys pay, you usually don't pay attention. Unless you guys are getting the help of an expert that can show you, okay, not just what to do, like, oh yeah, you should pay off debt. Yeah, got it. Thanks for that. You should save more for retirement. Got it. Thanks for that. Yeah, you should have a better marriage. Yeah, thanks for that. But like, how to actually work through it. What are the real roadblocks? It's like Michael Jordan. It's like he could sit there and shoot all day, but it's when someone comes behind him, he's the expert. And it's like, oh yeah, you're about your angle's about 5% off here, and it's like, and your knees are about 10% too far bent, and you're actually about an inch too far close to this. And it's like, and actually the way that you're holding the ball, it's just, you need to, as you're releasing, needs to be a little bit more of a spin. Guys, you just don't know what you don't know. I just don't know how else to say it. It's like, we have people coming like that all the time. And the other couple that I was thinking about last night, it's like, again, we're talking with them, and it's like instantly, she's like, everything has changed. I feel so much more confidence, so much more excitement about life. I mean, it was just like everything had shifted in their marriage in such a short period of time. Just the other, not just the one I was talking about, but another one. And it was like, and she's like, everyone needs to know about this. She's like, I got to send everybody to you guys. She's like, because people are suffering with so much emotional baggage, and like over their finances and their marriage, and it's like in pain, and like they're losing sleep, and like it's costing, their marriages are hurting, and it's like, and it's costing them money and it's time and worry, and they're getting behind in retirement and debt, all this stuff. It's like, and it could be fixed like that if you had the help of an expert. And guys, but honestly, again, we talked to so many different people, and guys, like, to be honest, like, if you're going to book a call with us, if we can help you, there's clearly a financial commitment. Like, we don't do free coaching. It's like, I just like your doctor's not going to do free surgery. It's like, they have to make a living. And ultimately they know that, like, if they don't charge for it, like, they're not going to be able to help. They'll be out of business in 2 hours, because otherwise it's like, is a doctor going to be sending out missionary support letters like for raising help? No, obviously it takes money to raise, to actually run a hospital. It takes money to run a company and to get people outcomes, right? And so, like, but there's some people, it's like, when it comes to making an actual investment to change their life, it's like all they see is like the cost for help, and they don't see what's costing them not to have help. And I just want to challenge you guys, like, if you really think that you're saving money right now by not booking call and speaking with us or speaking with an expert, I would challenge you, and I would tell you that you are way off track and you are completely wrong. And that's from a place of my own experience, because for me, I thought I was Mr. Thrifty. Okay, I thought I was saving money. I'm like, I'm saving money. And I always try to do it myself, and I had a sense of pride in that. But I also, like, honestly believed I was saving money until the first time I got my real mentor. And the first time I got a mentor, and it was actually more than one, but it was like there was one key one, and then it was like all of them kind of in a package group, right? Because I hired a whole company to work with me. And it was like, oh my gosh, instantly, didn't know this was wrong, didn't know this was wrong, didn't know this was wrong, didn't see that, didn't see that, didn't see that. Hey, this is your strength you didn't see. This is your strength about playing to. It's like, this is the potential I see in you that you're not developing. Oh my gosh. And it was like literally within a matter of a few weeks, I went from thinking I knew I knew all, a lot of what there was to know in the subject to realize like, I don't know anything, but now I know everything because I've got the real experts in the corner with me that have showed me all the stuff that they've spent years perfecting. I was like, oh my gosh. And there were things like advertising, right? I'd spend a year trying to teach my help how to advertise on Facebook and how to get people, through, to get to our company so that we could help them. And I'd spent over a year like seriously investigating, and I probably spent over 100 hours trying to understand how to do Facebook ads and all this stuff. I was doing self-development courses and all this stuff. It was not working. Free stuff, all this kind of stuff. I literally within a few weeks knew more about Facebook advertising after just a few hours of watching their trainings, and I'd spent over a year doing it. And I felt there's a part of me I was like, this felt so dumb. And I was like, I wasted so much time. It's like, if I would have done this a year ago, it's like I could have helped hundreds of more people, over the course of time, when I really think about it. And I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. It was so dumb. And so guys, I just want to challenge. It's like, there were moments in my life where I got that. And then once I got my first real mentor and I paid for it and I made a big investment, and even over the last year or so, I probably spent about $75,000 in coaching. And it's like, to a lot of people, I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like, that's more than I used to make in a year. And it's like, but I do that because guys, it pays off. Like when you work with people that are experts, that are incredible at what they do and are amazing at getting outcomes with people, guys, it more than pays for itself. It may not happen within the first week, it may not happen within the first month or even maybe 2 months, but like usually it pays for itself in a very short period of time. And then you get to take that learning for the rest of your life and do that. And so, but when it comes to like, retirement and things like that, like we all get it. We're like, oh yeah, like set some money aside, do that over the course of your life, the lifetime value of that, it's like, it's going to make compound interest. But again, guys, unfortunately, guys, most people just don't see that value in investing in themselves. And I'm telling you guys, the number one investment you can make is in you. When you invest in you and you take the time and the energy and invest in your own personal development, guys, what happens is with the help of an expert, you are going to see way more money in your bank account over the course of your life than you will just from putting money in a retirement account. Retirement accounts are great. Investing in the stock market is great. Don't get me wrong. But every single person we've worked with, they've always seen like, I think I did the math one time and I was like, just within a matter of a few months, it was like a 33% return. It was like, just like, as in like a pretty like basic return. I'm like, what are you going to get that in the stock market? It's like, you're not going to get that. And it's like, but that's what happens when people are getting their money under control and they were getting their income even further up just by having the right strategies to be able to do that the right way. And on top of that, like just having a crazy way better quality of life and a better marriage and more peace of mind and like more purpose and passion and fulfillment and all these sorts of things that are like, that's all just gravy, which honestly, that's really the substance of what people end up wanting more than anything. It's like the money's just the perk. But guys, like that's what happens. And so I just want to talk about that because ultimately, guys, like I just don't believe anything significant is going to happen in your life. I don't believe that you're going to be able to end financial failure. I know you're not going to be able to without the help of an expert, period. Like it is not going to happen. So guys, like you've heard the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and like expecting a different result. And if you have been trying for years, for decades, even trying to fix your financial issues on your own, and it's just not working, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like a loser. Don't feel like an idiot. But take action, get help, reach out to us and let us help you. Let us talk to you and see what's going on. And if you are feeling like a failure, it's just because that's what Proverbs says. It says if you don't get wise counsel, you will fail. Plans will fail. So like just like, okay, God, maybe if I listen to what God says, maybe like some great things would happen in my life. Yes, they will. God actually honors his word when you reach out and you work with experts and you do what they tell you to do and you have fun along the way. Because ultimately, guys, we have fun. Like talk to anybody that we're working with. We're having a blast. We're having fun. We're making it simple. Doesn't mean that it's easy. Anybody that tells you that completely transforming and doing a 180 with your finances is just a cakewalk and like, it's easy and it's like it's not going to require any effort from you is lying for you and they're just trying to get your money and sell you something, okay? Same thing like with your financial or with your physical fitness, right? Like anyone tells you that you're gonna be able to lose like, 100 pounds in like, in 5 days, just by like, like they take this pill. Guys, it's just not going to happen. Like, it just doesn't happen. It's like it takes work, it takes effort, but guys, it is so worth it. And it can be so much more fun and simple than it has to be. But the reason why so many of you guys hate the process is because you're just making it harder than it needs to be. You don't know how simple it truly could be. And I thought about the one couple specifically that I was referencing at the very beginning, where it was like, they would have spent years and decades in marriage counseling and all these different things. And like, honestly, their marriage was about to be over anyway. And so it was like, once they did that, it was like, oh my gosh. And we were all just like laughing, but like also like in a serious place of like, why, like what if everybody knew that it could be this simple? Like, what if everyone knew it didn't have to be this hard? Again, it doesn't mean that it's easy. All of them are putting in time and effort to fix this stuff. But guys, like, we're showing them things in like 1 hour that most people take decades to try to figure out. And it's like, because we've just studied it. We've perfected the craft. We've perfected our material. And like, what is it that people really need? Like, what's all this crap that doesn't work? What is it that actually does work? And we've been able to figure that out. So guys, ultimately, I just want to encourage you guys, if you're in a place where you're feeling stuck, if you're in a place where you're just not where you want to be, just reach out. Just reach out, go to dreamteammarriage.com. We will serve the mess out of you. And ultimately, we'll get on a hot call with you guys and we'll figure out what's really going on. Why are you really struggling? Like, what are the issues? What are the things that you guys really need? And if we can help you guys, we will absolutely let you guys know. But if not, I promise we'll tell you that too. So guys, again, if you need help, go to dreamteammarriage.com. We will sit down with you guys. We'll be straight up with you. We'll be honest. And again, if we can serve you guys, if we can help you guys and the financial struggle and the feeling of failure and start getting you guys to success, like Proverbs says, by working with a solid expert and someone who's actually good at what they do and they're wise and they're godly, then guys, we will let you know. And guys, we've seen so many transformations happen within weeks and happen in days instead of decades. And literally, guys, it doesn't have to be that hard. Just stop making it harder than it needs to be. Reach out to someone who cares and who's actually has the expertise to fix the problem. And if we can help you, again, we'll let you guys know. But guys, again, I'm just telling you, like, it is just going back to the weed whacker. It's like, if you're just out there, and you're like, I'm just going to keep trying on my own, just keep trying on my own. It's like, okay, you can do that. But there's a guy right next door with a lawnmower who can do it in like 10 minutes and like save you the hours of sweat and the toil and the sunburn and and all the feelings of insanity that you're going through as you're trying to clip 1,000 pieces of grass. It's the same exact thing. You're not doing your own. A lot of you guys aren't doing you're not pulling out your own teeth. You're not doing your own surgeries. Guys, you don't have to do your own finances. Like, if you need the help of an expert, which all of you do, I've never met somebody who doesn't, in order to get to the fullest level of potential and success as they want to, reach out. We'll let you know if we can help, and ultimately we'll serve you guys. So again, have a great day. I'll type it here. It was fun hanging out with you guys tonight. And again, go to dreamteammarriage.com and we will see you guys soon on the next live. So have a good one, guys. God bless.